Peter King here on the Rich Eisen Show. Pass interference, where's that situation right now,
You
Peter?
know, Rich, what's really interesting, I heard this weekend that they have not gotten into the nuts and bolts of what they want to do with pass interference because the competition committee knew that there was not going to be a vote on this week.
Okay.
And so their whole feeling is we have a bunch of things we need to do now that, quite frankly, are more important than the clarification of this rule. So the competition committee is going to take all of this up in the coming weeks, and then there's going to be a resolution on it before the May meetings. Now, most likely, the May meetings will also be virtual because the competition committee meetings are going to be virtual. They held some last week, but they basically realized that we don't really have time to get everybody involved in this right now. Obviously, there's a lot of these things that the coaches want to be involved in heavily and want to be heard. And so I think they all felt like this is something that's going to be better done, in the weeks before the May meetings, especially because now there was going to be no way that they were going to come to any sort of resolution with everything else they have going on.
So then what are the votes that they do have in front of them? Are they television-related, schedule-related?
Television, and how exactly, just confirming what exactly will be done with the extra 2 playoff teams.
Right.
Okay, so as everybody knows, playoff thing goes up from 12 teams to 14, one additional one per conference. Almost certainly the seeding will remain exactly the same. You will not reseed after every thing. After every round,
right.
Basically, it is going to be very simply playoffs as usual, with the I'm hearing with the exception of now there's only going to be one team with a bye. And so obviously it's 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5, or 4 versus 5. There's 2 other little things. Which TV networks get the games?
Right.
That's one thing. And then the final thing is just confirming that this is going to be 3 wild card games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday.
Unbelievable.
Which is how my understanding is that's what will be announced later today. But there is a chance, Rich, in the future, in future years of this CBA, that they will experiment with a Monday night game in Wild Card Weekend. Because if you think about it, the amount of people who would watch Monday at 8:15 versus Saturday at 1:05,
right,
is. I think it could be double the audience.
I agree. It's not even close. But then there's the issue of whoever wins that game would have to play a game on Sunday the following week. You can't go Monday to Saturday. I mean, that would be such a competitive disadvantage.
But here's the thing. Here's what I would say about that. If you're going on a short week after playing the previous Sunday,
right,
to play on Saturday, okay, and also to play the early game on Saturday, you're playing at 1:05 p.m. because that's the game that would be eliminated in a 2-3-1 situation. 2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, 1 Monday. So how big of a difference, honestly, is it to have a short week afternoon game, in week 1 of in the division round versus
right.
winning that game and having a short week game the following Sunday?
Any chance that
I really don't think it's that big a deal.
Any chance that ownership just comes out and says whichever happens, 1 o'clock on Saturday or 4:30 on Saturday, the Texans get that game regardless because that's the way it goes? Is it possible that they actually make a rule? That's a new league rule. If the Texans make it.
They play a playoff game on Wild Card Weekend at 3:35 Central.
Has to be. Must.
It's a league rule.
It is.
That's what they're voting on.
They should just make it. They should just codify it, Peter, and be done with it. Right.
Poor J.J. Watt.
Yeah, I know.
He'll never play a primetime playoff game in his life.